Hello and welcome, I'm Liam the music reviewer. Happy birthday to my beautiful boy, and today we're going to be talking about the new Peace album, Kindness is the New Rock and Roll. And yeah, I'm recording my iPhone really because I'm coming for your fucking phone, right? I'm coming for your fucking phone. For real though, it's because my girlfriend's not got my camera or my mic for setting up, so yeah, I'm just going to use my phone real quick here. So sorry for any like audio or video changes, it'll be back to normal soon enough. But yeah, Peace are a Birmingham indie rock outfit. They came about the kind of like the B-Town movement, it was called, which were like bands that fit into that whole indie rock genre during the 2010s. So there was bands like Superfood and Jaws and Swim Deep, all three acts as well as Peace that like I kind of like I was in my teens during the 2010s, so I kind of grew up with those acts to a certain extent. And there was a whole kind of like indie rock just kind of like craze, so to speak, during the turn of the noughties and early 2010s. If you grew up in the UK, you definitely knew about it. There are a handful of acts from that kind of like, I guess I'll call it like a movement, that still hold up. Bombay Bicycle Club are one that I always bring up whenever the topic gets brought up, just because I genuinely feel like they had a really good discography. Hope to come back soon. I've always made my thoughts on that very clear. But other acts like Catfish and the Bottlemen, Two Door Cinema Club, even Jaws, Palma Violets, a lot of these acts either like got huge off like really bare bones like indie rock, either totally changed their tune when something big came about and you're just like, oh, we'll do that, quick buck and that, or have just like totally faded away. And Peace easily could have like fit into that whole fading away category, because up until, I don't know, like a few months ago, people just hadn't really heard much from him. Happy People came out in February of 2015. They toured for most of that year, and then that was really it. Just no one really heard all that much, and then it just came to this album here. I honestly didn't know about it until this morning. I'd heard the first single from this, Power, and I'd also heard the charity single that they did from Under Liquid Glass, which I didn't realise was on this album. My thoughts on Peace up until this album, In Love, is I still think it's quite a good debut album. Is there some complaints to be made? Definitely, especially if you listen to the song Lovesick. There is, if you've ever listened to The Cure, which I assume you will because nearly everyone has listened to at least one song, and that song's probably Friday and I'm in Love, which is like, okay, if you listen to those two songs back to back, you would probably think you have a lawsuit on your hands. But that album as a whole, I listened to recently, a few months back, and I still enjoyed it. Maybe I don't think it's as great as I did back once I was a bit younger and I wasn't as like experienced with a lot of rock music, but I still think it does hold up to a lot of fun. Happy People was very much the same. I feel like on that album they progressed their sound somewhat. Progress is probably the wrong word to use because it was very like Britpop influenced. A lot of critics did say that it was too 90s influence. Said it was kind of like, I think one reviewer said that it was basically like the like reheated Leftovers, which is quite harsh because I think Happy People is I guess a good record. I'd say there's a lot of good singles on there. I'm a Girl, Money, Road Pleasure, just some really good songs that I still come back to every now and again. Some of them have like some like really I don't know if I should say important, because I don't know how much importance they actually give to it, but I do think that what they explore is like topics worth exploring, and I think to a certain extent they do it quite well. But getting on to this new record, Kindness is the New Rock and Roll, I feel kind of bad for saying that it's not really all that good. It starts off with the song Power, which really isn't all that powerful. It's really lacking quite a bit of any like oomph, and then it's immediately followed up by the title track, which I feel probably should have been the first song, because at least then in the context of it you start off with a bit more kind of like a more subdued song. It's a bit lighter, and then you immediately follow up with Power, and then that's it. Like even just in the context of the album, it would have been given much more oomph. But the thing is, even if it did, it just feels like it thinks that it's a lot kind of like stronger than it actually is. There's a bit on it like in the second verse where Harry Koiser, or however you pronounce his surname, again, not good with names, where like he had a bit more like kind of like playful delivery for like one or two lines, which is nice. Like it makes it feel just again a lot more enjoyable. But bar that, like I don't really feel much from these first two tracks. There's definitely been some progression made though with the band. I definitely think that they're not just kind of like they're not just kind of like stagnated at all. Like their sound has changed a fair bit, and I think with the song From Under Liquid Glass is one of the best songs they've ever put out. And I don't know if that's something that a lot of people will agree with. I know that some people that like really loved the band in their heyday kind of don't like it at all. I kind of just admire it more for like for what the whole like subtext of it is, like the whole theme about like mental health. And not to say that like every song about mental health is going to get me like right away. There's that whole Logic song that was like not good. But with this, I feel like Harry just has like his best vocals like I've heard in quite some time. Like there is like so much kind of just like emotion dripping from it, especially in the chorus. Like he's it's not even like in a way that like somebody like forces their voice, where it comes to like almost like some sort of like realm of like fakeness or insincerity. Like it feels like there's some like genuine anguish and pain coming from it. And just the lines that he uses in that, like he doesn't ever like come across as being like, I don't know, maybe not even so much like being like pretentious or anything like that. It just everything about the song just feels very sincere. The production, it doesn't feel like overproduced or that it's like too glossy or that. It does feel quite dreary. At points it feels a bit more positive, especially during the bridge, and it just all builds up into this climax. It just kind of like a lot of satisfaction from it, weirdly enough, from a song that kind of like is so kind of depressing. Song Magnificent also kind of like follows in this kind of like lyrical footsteps, talking about like how as a musician he almost feels kind of like as a commodity, which in turn makes him feel quite worthless. And then is like during the chorus it's like basically saying to this person to kind of like stay with him, that he's going to get better, that he'll eventually be magnificent again. It just feels very like telling, very genuine. The song that follows up this, Angel, as well, I don't think is quite as strong, but it's like this kind of like trio of this kind of subject matter, which I feel Peace do a good job of. I do think it's something that is worth talking about more. I've said as much as I can about mental health and all that, and I think Everything had like a really good song about it this year as well. But bar these three songs, man, I just didn't really like this album all that much. I don't really think there's much to like hate about it. There was no point for this album where I was like, I think this is like shit. Like there was no point for this album where I felt anything is extreme. Is that I just feel that maybe these three songs would have worked much better as an EP as opposed to being like part of expansive, like I say an expansive LP. It's not really that expansive, it's like just over half an hour long, but basically having like all these other songs kind of like tacked on. That's what it feels like, that they had like these like three really good songs that they wanted to like work in some way. I just feel like what they've put in with it, just there's just songs like Don't Walk Away From Love, Shotgun Hallelujah, Just a Ride. You don't get really any sort of like hit of urgency, and these songs feel like they do need some sort of like urgency to them, or that that's what it's wanting to evoke. I don't get that really at all. So, like not all the time you're going to need like urgency. Sometimes things are meant to be more like laid back, and I'd say there is more of a subdued sound, but I think that approach is usually taken on those songs about the sensitive subject matter, and not on these songs where I feel like they're trying to basically make up for the fact that there's not really any kind of like floor filler tracks, as you'd put it. Like there's no sort of like Love Sick or Follow Baby or Money or World Pleasure or Generation Strange. There's nothing like that. These songs are just really in a way, when you've got these other songs that like lyrically they're saying something, they're strong. It's just I think lyrically they are quite strong, maybe even more just in the context of Peace's career. But even with that, like I do think they're good lyrically, but when you're put up against that, like it makes everything else seem a lot weaker, and it also makes it feel kind of like an afterthought, which is a shame because, like I say, there's no bit in this album where like, this is just plain bad. I feel like I saved that for like when something genuinely is quite bad. I think the word to use for it is underwhelming. They've been away for 3 years, and I think there has been like some progression made. This doesn't feel like they could have made these songs like right after Happy, but it doesn't feel like there's songs on here where I'd like expect them to kind of like crop up on the other two albums. At least not the ones that I feel that I'm kind of attached to, at least. But yeah, it's just a shame because I think when you start off with the intro track where it's called Power, it's not got the power. You've got a title track which is like totally fine, but like doesn't feel like it's placed quite as well. There's a lot of things that it could have been better, even if like there was more time to kind of like structure it a bit better. But even then, the songs, like lyrically, I don't feel like I'm getting much out of it. Instrumentally, I don't feel they're giving quite the immediacy that they imply that they have, or that they think that they have, because it just, some of them just do feel like a bit of a letdown, like you're not really getting anything out of them. Which made all the more clear once you've got these songs, like the free tracks that I keep mentioning, where you do get that feeling. I feel a solid 5 out of this, and again, when it comes to like a 5 for me, I think that just means okay. Like 5 is literally just kind of like, it's not going into the bad, it's not going into the good, it's just like, it's okay. The good outweighs the bad here. I do like I say, I do like these free tracks that I've discussed, but really that's kind of like all I could imagine me coming back to this album for. I'd like to know what you guys think of this. And yeah, because I know that maybe not everyone followed the whole kind of like indie rock craze. I think a lot of people that I'm friends with definitely did, because we kind of had to, especially growing up with like NME and all that. But yeah, I've been Liam the Music Reviewer. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this whole formatty thing here with the iPhone isn't quite as bad. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay safe and stay hydrated.